mypassiveincomeworkshop.com. Stop making excuses. Go to mypassiveincomeworkshop.com.
You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show, the most positive business talk show in America. Best-selling authors of Lists That Saved My Business and founders of the Extreme Customer Service Directory, Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer, are inspiring you to get your business right. They know the customer experience isn't just another thing, it's the only thing. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Hello and welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel and Eric. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us for ours. While this is the calm before the storm here in Denver. Did you hear up in Montana that there's snow coming, that it's falling like crazy and it's moving its way through? Probably Wyoming is getting hit right now and we're going to get hit. It's going to be White Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
That's all I have to say about that. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I know the weather's always this really interesting topic for everybody. We're always so fascinated when it is having weather, when we're not having weather, the changing of seasons. You know, when was the last time we got this much snow? Last winter.
Yeah, last time.
When do you think it'll happen again? Next winter. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see some snow.
Sure.
Because it's been a while here in Denver. Let's talk a little bit about planning for your new year, I
love planning for my new year.
Of course, marketing plans are already in place, obviously.
Clearly.
It goes without saying. And so maybe even some of our goals we've already kind of got the ball rolling in some of our personal development goals.
Yes, because entrepreneurs are known for getting all that done before it's necessary. So
I have to tell you, for the last several years, I've had a friend of mine puts together an annual conference that starts at the beginning of the year. And it's all about creating your vision and getting your goals all down on paper. And it's always at the beginning of the year. And it's the perfect timing for it.
Right.
Well, the first time she put it together, which was many years ago, she started marketing it and putting it together at the end of the year. And so you only had a month or two, maybe 6 to 8 weeks that she, was selling this event before it happened. So the following year, we're going to start earlier. We're going to start earlier, help people get this on their calendar, plan ahead. So started a little earlier. And then the following year after that, we're going to start even earlier.
Okay.
The problem with starting earlier with entrepreneurs, we're not even thinking about it. You said, well, of course, we're notoriously known for planning ahead and thinking. No, there's a reason our friends at Printing Done Quickly print very quickly. It's because, oh my gosh, we have a trade show we're going to this weekend.
That's exactly right.
We need stuff now.
Wait a minute. Christmas happens at the end of the year every year?
Every year.
Who knew?
And so I know when we say this tongue in cheek, but as you are planning your year, let's talk about some little known tax deductions that you might be able to take advantage of next year in your planning. And if you plan ahead, then you're not leaving money on the table.
Tax deductions.
All
right.
Now, I'm not an accountant. I don't even play one on the radio.
All right.
But Meredith Wood from Fundera, these are some things that she recommends. And always check with your CPA, your accountant, the professionals when you're trying to take advantage of all of those tax deductions and advantages, because nails aren't on the list, just so you know, your manicure.
So if I understand correctly, you wouldn't give this advice, but Meredith would.
I don't know.
It's pretty good.
I don't know.
It's Meredith Wood. That's her name.
Oh, yes.
Got it.
Meredith Wood.
Go ahead.
Because Meredith Wood. Okay, so.
She could chuck it as much wood as a woodchuck could chuck.
Here are a couple of things she says you should be aware of. Number one is your utilities. She says you might already be well aware that you can deduct your business rent payments from your taxes. And even if you work from home, she says you can calculate a percentage of your rent, deduct based off of how much space you use for your business. So there's some rules about how much space and when you're in your home.
So let me see if I understand correctly. Mm-hmm. We can deduct our rent payments for leasing an office?
Yes.
Are we doing that?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah. But here's she says you can also do it with utility payments, from telephone calls to electricity and water bills. Your small business is eligible to save money. She says you do need to make sure that you're only deducting the business expenses and not your personal ones. So you have to keep good records.
Can I deduct the square footage equivalent of the water used in our office building?
Can you deduct What?
So, we have an office. It's about, 1,200, 1,300 square feet.
Yes.
And there's probably 1 million square feet in the entire complex.
Okay.
So can I get a fraction of the square footage equivalent of the water usage for the whole building?
Here's the thing with tax deductions. You can't take a deduction on something that you haven't paid for.
Do we pay for the water?
We don't.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you haven't paid for something,
okay,
you can't take a tax deduction on it.
That's a hard rule.
Here's the other thing.
Is Trump going to fix that?
And here's the other thing is if you are taking the tax deduction, perhaps let's say in another area, maybe you're renting the space and it includes water.
Yeah. You
cannot take the second tax deduction on the same thing. You can only have one tax deduction.
One person can deduct only one thing from one person.
So if you've already taken the tax deduction for that item, you can't take it again.
Is Trump going to fix that too?
Let's talk about insurance.
Okay.
Business insurance, 9 times out of 10, she says you'll be glad you made those small monthly payments when something unexpected occurs. But as an added bonus, most insurances are tax deductible, from health insurance to workers' compensation. Make sure you put those premium papers on your tax form.
So that would be helpful, like if there was a rainstorm and the waterfall came in and poured through your printer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, if you had insurance.
Got it.
If you didn't, you can't deduct it.
Do we have insurance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Now, equipment and machinery payment.
Oh.
This is where it gets really good. She says there are plenty of good reasons to rent your equipment and machinery instead of buying them because, one, you have upgrade flexibility, lower upfront costs, and even the possibility of financing. One more advantage, you can deduct your rental payments from your taxes plus any repairs that you need to make on them as well.
All right. So we can deduct if we pay for the repairman.
If you pay for the repairman. If you did not pay for the repairman, then you cannot take the tax deduction on repairs.
Is Trump going to fix that?
Why? Well, you don't do your own taxes, do you?
No, you do my taxes.
I know, right? And even then, these are just do as we read. Get the information.
Right.
But just things to think about. Things to think about, because a lot of times, if you've ever met with somebody in the world of tax deductions and CPAs and all of that, they know so much about different deductions that you can take as a business owner, legitimate tax deductions. Did you know that there's a tax deduction if you have somebody in charge of your safety and security? You can actually take a tax deduction and give that person a one-time bonus.
I am in charge of your safety and security.
It can be. And so if you're a one-man shop, making sure and that person gets a bonus, and there are certain rules about how that bonus is distributed.
Of course there are rules.
But you still can do it.
All right.
And so there's different things. So make sure you check car expenses.
Yes.
In 2017, it was 53.5 cents per mile for being driven for business purpose. So if you are tracking your mileage, if you're not tracking your mileage, this is one of the easiest things to create those tax deductions.
It's a lot easier this year than it was last year.
Why is that?
Because you made me install an app.
Way to install an app.
And the app, I haven't quantified which one goes where and how that goes. That's going to be a long. Don't do that. Don't put your head
every week it sends you a reminder. You have undocumented.
I don't get to.
You don't get that?
No, I don't. But I know. I mean, there's
every week you've got this many undocumented
I think
drives.
all 15 months this year is recorded. So, yeah.
All right. Well, here's some other things. Parking fees, advertise. If you get your car wrapped, you can deduct that.
Awesome.
Gas and oil, tire maintenance, general auto repair, registration fees. But yes, Eric, you have to pay for that stuff before you can deduct it.
Can I get a deduction for my rental car?
For your rental car? Are you driving it for business purposes?
I am.
Then yes, you can.
All right.
Are you keeping records of that? You got to keep records of that.
There's
but every expense that you have being used towards the business of that, all tax deductible.
Love it.
All tax deductible.
Love it.
But think of this too. Think about this even in gambling, right? And this is the thing is if you were to have a big windfall,
right.
let's say you played the lottery or something, right? Or you'd like to whatever, and it's legal in your state. And you have a big windfall. Well, if you, for all that you have spent in that area, if you got receipts of how much you have spent, you can tax deduct that if you make money. So every time you make money, if you've got enough receipts. So same with your expenses on your vehicle, Eric. Yeah. If you've got receipts and you have it, can prove those expenses, then all the revenue you made from that, because all that revenue is going to be taxed. All the expenses, that you have against making that money goes against that. And so you're taxed at a lower level.
You're pretty smart.
I read a lot. Office supplies and furniture. Yes, you can deduct both office supplies and office furniture. These are those little tiny expenses: printer paper, paper clips, thumbtacks, staples, the little things. And you think, okay, it's $12 here, $17 there. If you save your receipts, write it off.
Write it off. Mm-hmm. Gang, don't write us off. We'll be back right after these messages. More positive business talk. You're listening to Angel Tassi and Eric Raymer. This is the Experience Pros Radio Network.
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the Experience Pros Radio Show.